day, everybody. This is Zack Gonzalez and RJ Walsh coming at you on this great February 6th, 2016. It's a little rainy up here in Gainesville, or Rainsville, as it's kind of been the past couple of days. But we're excited to come back, and after taking a couple months off like we tend to do, we're happy to be back here with just some great sports information for all of y'all. It's been a ridiculous just couple of months sports-wise. You know, we've had the Gator football team and the season on a, was it 3 or 4 games? I don't recall.
3-game losing streak.
3-game losing streak. That was tough to swallow, but
we have good news coming up later.
We have fantastic news about the Gator football team coming up later in the podcast. As of now, we're watching our boys get worked by Kentucky on the road, even though, I mean, they've cut it.
They've cut it to 13 with 2 minutes to go in the first half. It looked pretty ugly a few minutes ago, though.
I mean, and this Gator basketball team, RJ, like, it's really, I have really high expectations with Mike White coming in, you know, a new regime, a new system with everything, new personnel for the most part, it feels like. Yeah. And after kind of a tough start, they've been doing really well. I mean, we were at that West Virginia game.
That was awesome.
Saturday. I mean, remind me of that. How much we beat them by? 18?
Yeah,
19?
We dominated that whole game from start to finish. Came out shooting great. Now won. Well, our little streak will be broken here, but tonight most likely. But we've won 5 of the last 6 games. The team's playing pretty well, honestly.
I mean, dude, nobody goes to Rupp Arena and wins.
Yeah, it's really hard.
I mean, we are a team that just plays better at home. We've only lost 1 game at home.
It was on a last-second shot to FSU.
I mean, I hate that it had to be Florida State, but, you know, FSU's a good team in their own right. I mean, the other in-state team we played, Miami, I mean, they put it on us.
They're really good, too.
I mean, I say that they're going to go to Sweet 16 and lose. You can take my word for that one right there. But I'm really excited about the team. I really like John Ibugnu.
Ibugnu's been good. Dodo's been awesome. Kayvon Allen's been playing really well recently after a little slow start to his freshman year.
Dude, I like what's-his-face, too. Ramirez.
Brandon Francis Ramirez finally started hitting a few shots.
Yeah, the good DR. He's a money perimeter shooter. Our only weakness, as I feel like you know as well, is just lack of performance at the point guard position.
Yeah.
You know,
I cannot stand Chris Chiozza. Casey Hill has grown on me a little bit, to be honest, as opposed to the last couple of years, but neither of them are any good.
They're nothing spectacular. I mean, and you know why? It's because we were spoiled our freshman year.
Yeah.
We had Scotty Wilbekin, you know, a guy that could take over the offense, a guy that could play sound defense. And when you lose, like, if we had this team, but with Scotty Wilbekin, I mean, it wouldn't be like our freshman year where we went 36-3 or whatever it was.
Right,
but, I mean,
but we would have been a little better than this year, that's for sure.
No, agree. We would be much better on a whole. But,
especially because Mike White's offense is like a lot of predicated on the point guard. Like Chiozza has the ball in his hands a lot during the game while he's on the court, and so that's why he ends up hoisting those late in the shot clock shots because the ball's normally in his hands. But I don't know. I don't like him very much, to be honest.
I mean, I agree. You know, I'll respect the Chichu, but yeah, we got to figure out the point guard position if we're going to be the great teams under the Billy D era that, you know, won back-to-back national championships, that won SEC championships. And the SEC as a whole is just better this year, it seems. We got Texas A&M in the top 10, apparently. South Carolina's ranked.
Playing well, yep.
I mean, LSU's not good, but Ben Simmons, who I still can't believe we beat that team in the O-Dome. I mean, he got his. We got double-double.
Like 26 and 18.
Incredible. He was an incredible guy to watch.
It didn't even feel like he was dominating the game. He just, like, over the course of the game, he padded his stat line. It was insane.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I still don't know why he picked LSU, but man, if he went to Kentucky or any like contending school, I mean, he'd have a national championship he could play for potentially. But you know, he's looking like the first overall pick to probably the Sixers.
Sixers, Lakers, some other team that's tanking.
One of those tanking teams. We'll get into the NBA talk later in the program. But any other SEC schools? Well, those are about the top echelon. I mean, Tennessee put a beat down on us in January, but I think that was like a wake-up call because ever since that loss...
Yeah, we started to play better.
We only dropped the Vanderbilt game, I want to say.
That was only by a point. That was a tough loss. We should have won that game.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt's good, but we're better.
No, we just, like I said, we just don't play well
on the
road. I don't know what it is, but there's teams like that, you know, they just can't play when they leave the friendly confines. We're going to keep it here on Gator Gator Athletics. We're going to look at the football team. Heck of a first year for Coach McElwain. 10-3. I'm correct. No, 10-4. 10-4. Yes, 10-4.
Started 6-0, ended 4-4. But it was a good first year under McElwain. Everyone predicted us 5th in the SEC East with 6 or 7 wins total, and we had that in the first 7 weeks. So it was a fun year. Kind of faltered down the stretch, but it was good.
Yeah, it happens. Losing Will Greer was instrumental. Yeah. I mean, it's a shame that he's not even with the program anymore, having to transfer out. I wish him the best. I really think he can be good if, he can just kind of get everything together. I still think he can be a heck of a quarterback who we might see in the NFL one day. Speaking of quarterbacks, we will no longer have to see Treon Harris play quarterback. And you know what? As much as I dislike his play on the field, I can't help but feel for the kid. I mean, that is somebody's son right there. And I feel like he got thrown into a pretty bad position.
No, he did, yeah.
Because here's the problem, which you probably know as well. He came in during the Will Muschamp era where nothing made sense. So if I'm Will Muschamp at the time, what I would have thought to do was I would have looked at myself in the mirror, then looked at Treon and been like, listen, Treon, you're 5'11", 180. You're essentially Zack Gonzalez, all right? Except, a little more in shape. I'm going to throw you at slot receiver, wingback, corner, something like that.
Well, he was recruited as an athlete. I mean, I know he apparently declined all these other schools because they didn't want to give him a chance playing quarterback. But that was probably for the best because now he's 2 years into his career and now he's decided to change. If he had decided to change as a freshman, I'm sure he would have contributed offensive yards at a different position as a sophomore.
Oh yeah, because he is an athlete, but just like when it comes to making decisions and playing quarterback position, it just doesn't click, and that's fine.
And Coach McElwain's, in a read option or a running offense, I'm sure Treon could have succeeded as a quarterback, but McElwain's offense is pro style. It suited someone like Will Greer much better, who surveys the field, makes the decision. Treon is much more a different
He's
offense.
He's a run-first guy.
Right.
That's how he is. And, him converting to wide receiver compared to, like, Braxton Miller converting to wide receiver, even that's different. Braxton went for Ohio State because Braxton Miller's just a bigger guy in general, and he could just play quarterback. It's just a situation there was like, we got J.T. Barrett and Cardale Jones, so he had to do that out of necessity. Granted, Treon has to do it out of necessity as well, but
Braxton's NFL draft stock is going up, though.
Well, it's just like, what's his face? Tyler Murphy got picked up as a wide receiver for Pittsburgh.
He's on the Steelers, yeah.
And, good for him. I remember Tyler Murphy. We thought he was the truth for a couple of weeks when we were freshmen. We'll see, though. Treon hopefully can do something with his career. He's a small guy, but maybe he'll contribute as a slot guy. We're losing a couple guys to the draft.
Losing Kelvin Taylor, Demarcus Robinson, Alex McAllister.
And Vernon Hargreaves.
I
want to start with the two knuckleheads. Okay. Demarcus Robinson, I don't even know if he might have had 2 touchdowns the whole year. He was a complete wash this year. He had problems. He just couldn't get it together. I don't get how you could have a game against Kentucky last year where you tie the legendary Carlos Alvarez's record for receptions in a game and catch the game-tying touchdown, and yet you can't do anything in this new year. And it's not like he had Callaway as competition, but that was it. Guys like Fullwood, I haven't heard of Fullwood since his sophomore year. I haven't heard of guys like Pittman since he got knocked out against LSU. God bless him for that. That was brutal to watch. I haven't heard of guys, I can't even think.
The wide receiver job was Demarcus Robinson's to lose.
And he did.
He did.
He lost it to the true freshman, Callaway, who is amazing. Yeah. But we'll see I feel like he'll end up in Oakland, like the Bows. I don't know.
The guy has talent. He has good size, too. He's a knucklehead. So, if someone wants to give him a shot, then you have to decide whether the trouble outweighs the talent, which he hasn't put up much production. So.
Yeah. We'll find out. We'll see if he even gets drafted. Another knucklehead, Alex McAllister. He was a stud. Not stud. Well, he was good when he was here.
He was a very good pass rusher, yeah.
And I just don't know what happened. We got dismissed for the bowl game.
Yeah, I don't know. He got dismissed from the program, so he's entering the NFL draft. He had 6.5 sacks this year. He played pretty well. He's 6'6". He has long arms. He can play, but he's also a little thin. He doesn't have that much weight.
Yeah, so he's the same thing as Robinson, and we're producing. Apologize for that. And we're producing D linemen out of here like it's our job. You know, we had guys like
Dante Fowler, now John Bullard,
Dominic Easley in the past, Sherry Floyd. I mean, we're sending out guys. You know, CeCe Jefferson's gonna be one of those next couple of guys in 2 years or so. Like you said, Bullard. I forgot. Bullard's coming out. Right?
Bullard will likely be a first-round pick this year.
All right, yeah. He's one of those who's not a senior. He's one of those who is a senior who's
right.
going into the draft. Yeah, and then we got the two. I guess marquee guys. Kelvin Taylor, I believe.
He had a 1,000-yard season, but he was a 3.9 yards a carry. So
I think he should have stayed. Personally.
Yeah, I think he should.
Cronkite and Scarlett aren't really going to challenge him for the job. I don't see, and especially in a league where running backs are dying, not actually dying, even though that the CTE stuff with the brain is serious, but just in a league where the running back position is becoming more and more scarce, and guys are out of the league in 5 to 7 years. I just feel like he could have come back for one more year and see what happened. I mean,
he definitely has room for improvement.
I mean, it helps that he has Fred Taylor as his dad to help guide him with that process. But I personally just think Kelvin should have stuck around, and Vern Hargrave as well.
We're gonna miss him a lot.
Oh yeah, I mean, we knew from the get-go that he was going to be a first-round draft pick.
Yeah.
Second he walked on campus our freshman year. I mean, he's our year. And
he had 3 interceptions in his first 3 collegiate games.
He's a stud, and he always carried himself with class and just was a great ambassador for the UF football program. And yes, he will be missed. At the same time, though, like, the secondary is going to be okay.
Oh, yeah. The secondary is loaded.
Tabor's going to step up.
Quincy Wilson
was who I had in mind next. Washington.
Yeah, Nick Washington in the back. Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure May's going in the draft, right? I don't know if May. I forgot what year May is, and I forgot our other boy, the guy who laid that awesome big hit against Ole Miss. Keanu O'Neal. Like, those two were heralded as like.
Keanu O'Neal is the Cam Chancellor of Florida, is what he is.
I agree, dude. They were a dope tandem here, and I'm excited to just whether we should know if they're coming back. It's kind of a shame we're not on top of that, but the defense has just been a pleasure to watch.
The defense has been great. If only we had the first 6 or 7 games of offense this year, the whole year.
I mean, I'd kill for a good offense, man. Everybody's kind of jumping on that Michigan bandwagon with the recruiting and everything.
Harbaugh's killing the recruiting game.
No, I know. I mean, and you get guys like Derek Jeter and Ric Flair and Brady, and you got Migos dabbing at the signing. Oh my gosh. The good old dab. Thank you, Migos. But still, I'm kind of disappointed, though, because, I had a number 1 recruiting class, right?
Florida State.
Florida State Seminoles, man. Which means they're going to be geared to make a title run.
Again.
Still. And, I would just love to beat them.
Once.
We
put up a better game in Muschamp's last game 2 years ago away.
No, last year. Well,
than we did at home last year.
Yeah. We lost to Sean McGuire. Is it Chris McGuire?
Yeah.
I don't know. Sean McGuire.
Yeah, how did we lose to Sean McGuire?
We lost to Sean McGuire, and we didn't even score via safety. I mean, made Dalvin Cook look. I mean, Dalvin Cook's good, but most of his yards were garbage yards.
They were garbage time yards.
Yeah, and just disappointing how you couldn't show up for a game of such magnitude.
Yep.
And then let's leave the Noles out of conversation for a bit. I mean, Alabama, the fact that we only lost by 15
I don't know how
to
that happened.
the national champion is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a team they're incredible. Absolutely incredible. And we only lost we were winning the game at one point. We were winning the SEC championship.
Thanks to Callaway.
At one point, yeah, thanks to Antonio Callaway's SEC record punt return. So the team, this very sporadic bunch. I mean, we got a team that can compete, that can crush Sugar Bowl champion Ole Miss, hang with Alabama, and then nearly lose to FAU and ECU.
And Vanderbilt.
And Vanderbilt. Don't know. Ralph Webb. I shouldn't know the name Ralph Webb. I should not know that name.
Right.
And they're like, the Gainesville product. There's a reason we didn't recruit you. All right. There's a reason. That whole you got to prove something. Shut up, Friedman. I don't even know who the announcers were for that. Shut up. man. But yeah, I think other tidbits on Gator football that you want to tell our viewers.
We landed a pretty good recruiting class.
Yeah, I wrote about that. Not wrote it. I put it on the website. I linked their highlight films and whatnot. We're obviously pumped about Pinero, the kicker, because
early enrollee.
Because we don't have a kicker.
Right.
I haven't known what a good kicker is ever, to be honest. Except when I used to root for the U, Matt Bosher kind of killed it.
Whenever we watched Roberto Aguayo.
Yeah, but when Georgia Tech got him, that was awesome. I still watch that. I get chills. But then Felipe Frank's coming in to throw some more, and Kyle Trask too. Even though I thought Kyle Trask was a junior in high school, but I guess I don't know anything, and he's enrolling in UF now apparently.
Yeah, so
that's just intriguing.
Trask almost 100% red shirt. I would say the quarterback jobs between Luke Del Rio is a transfer from last year. Coach McElwain actually recruited him to go to Colorado State back when Coach Mack was there. He chose Oregon State, then he bounced to Alabama. Now he's finally at Florida, and he's a front runner for the job next year, unless someone like Felipe Franks really steps up and takes it from him as a freshman.
Agreed. I'm excited to see Del Rio in action for once. I just have never seen the guy suit up, so it's exciting to see.
And we added Austin Appleby from Purdue, graduate transfer.
Remember the last graduate transfer we had, though?
Yeah, but he didn't even. I mean, Josh Gray didn't even play at Vanderbilt. He was here really as a converted wide receiver
who still didn't play.
Yeah, but Appleby played a lot with Purdue. He threw for like 14 touchdowns and 2,000 yards. So I mean, he has experience. He'll either back up Del Rio, or if he ends up winning the job. I mean, really, we just need a quarterback to make a decision and get the ball into a playmaker's hand. Because too often last year, our quarterback, Freon, was just sitting there waiting. And
then we get pissed at him.
And then he'd either get sacked or throw it away. And so we need someone to make a quick decision, get it to the playmakers, and score some points.
Exactly. I mean, that's how we beat Tennessee. Greer just threw the Callaway. Callaway turned around and ran the end zone and won the game.
Ole Miss, Greer probably completed almost every single one of those passes like 15 yards or less.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't throwing
I mean, Callaway broke one, and then somebody else
broke an 8-yard in.
Oh, he's coming back too.
For 80 yards. Yeah. We just need someone to get rid of the ball, and let the playmakers do their thing.
Exactly. It's just that simple. Well, let's not worry about Gator football. We got till August, so we've got a good amount of time.
The spring game's going to be at night this year. It's going to be awesome.
Dude, it's conflicting because I want to go watch the Gator baseball team play in this state, so I'm going to have to have...
I'm going to the spring game.
I don't blame you, but I'm a Gator baseball homer. I've loved Gator baseball. I'm really excited for opening day in 2 weeks or so. Well, not even, it's about a week. Not 2 weeks. But if you want more on that, I got an article that has over 110 views. My first ever over 100 view article. It's on Zack Knows Sports. You can check that out there if you want to find out how we're going to win the national championship this year. I hope. So, moving on now. Let's go into the realm of the NBA.
All right, the Miami Heat.
Yeah, our Heat, they're something, those Miami Heat. Hassan Whiteside with another ridiculous triple-double.
10, 10, and 10. No one does it with blocks, he says on his Snapchat.
Blocks and rees.
If you need entertainment, add Hassan Whiteside on Snapchat. It's really funny.
On Snapchat, if you want entertainment, add Joel Embiid on Twitter.
That's true.
But, the Heat, I think we're a team that can get to at least...
I would really hope we get to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Against Cleveland.
Yeah.
Losing 6, be happy with the season. I don't know. Obviously, in my opinion, no team from the East is going to win the finals. I really think
it's basically the Western Conference Finals should decide the champion.
The Western Conference Finals should be the finals,
right.
In all honesty.
Like it's the Spurs or the Warriors. Like these are two of the best teams ever, and they're playing in the same season, and it really kind of stinks that they both can't win something.
Yeah, we're not all in on that. Everyone gets the same thing.
Right.
We're not a fan of that. We're not going to take politics into this, of course. But I mean, personally, as a Bulls fan after my Miami Heat fandom, I'm hoping somehow that Golden State does not get to golden win number 73. It means a lot to me to see Jordan's record stay untouched. That's why I'm happy that Kobe doesn't have 6. That's why I hope LeBron never wins another championship.
So here's a fact about LeBron. LeBron is shooting a worse 3-point percentage this year than Kobe Bryant.
That's saying something.
That's bad.
You know what I heard? I think I might have heard this from Bill Simmons' podcast. Shout out to the BS report. But they said the way that Kobe's playing, he should come back for another 3 years. And I'm thinking, whoa, now, he's just having a good.
Yeah, he's had a little good stretch here, like the last week or so. He's been playing well, but he's 38 years old. He has bad knees, bad.
You're screwing the franchise of all the money they're paying you.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got to.
He's totally stunted the Lakers rebuilding because they're in position with D'Angelo Russell and Julius Randle and them. And Jordan Clarkson, but they're so focused on sending Kobe out on a retirement party that they've kind of forgotten about rebuilding for the last couple of years.
No, I agree. Let me ask you this, especially for building. How much would you give? I asked you this earlier off the air. How much would you give for the Miami Heat to have Steph Curry?
Anyone like that, if it was Steph, KD, Russell, LeBron, anyone else I'm forgetting, you literally trade. I mean, their teams would never. They're untouchable. But you'd offer anything, anyone like that, DeMarcus Cousins.
I'd offer the keys.
You know what? You know what's ridiculous? That they were talking about earlier this year. They're like, oh, if you're the Nets, or if you're a team like that, or like the Lakers or something. Would you offer your first round pick for DeMarcus Robinson? It's like, yes.
Cousins?
Yes. Or I'm sorry, for DeMarcus Cousins.
You're good.
Yes, for DeMarcus Cousins. And it's so obviously yes, because you may end up getting someone like Ben Simmons who might be as good in the future as DeMarcus Cousins is right now. He might, but not necessarily, and probably won't because DeMarcus Cousins is playing absolutely out of his mind. So yes, you make that trade every single time. The people value these first round picks way too highly for current all-stars, and it's upsetting.
I agree. Very good point there. Speaking of all-stars, like you mentioned Durant and Westbrook, what do you think of that rumor where Durant and Westbrook go to LA?
I also heard a rumor about Kevin Durant to the Warriors.
Did you also hear the rumor about Blake Griffin to the Nuggets?
To the Nuggets, yeah.
I heard that yesterday, and I was
because the Nuggets have been playing they're not a good team yet, but
dude,
they're only a couple pieces away from being a solid playoff team. I
mean, your boys in the dunk tournament that you wrote about, Barton.
Yeah, Will Barton. That guy. He has turned it around. He had he didn't get that much playing time his first couple years in the league or so, but he's been killing it with the Nuggets, and He's gonna be an all-star. He's gonna be a dunk participant.
Good for him. That's awesome. I mean, even though to me the NBA All-Star Weekend's whatever. I'm not gonna drop.
It's not as bad as the Pro Bowl though.
The Pro Bowl. I mean, let's talk about the Pro Bowl, okay?
The Pro Bowl is a joke.
So they're like, okay, so this AFC NFC thing's not working. So you know what we're gonna do?
We're gonna make it a fantasy football league.
We're gonna bring out Michael Irvin and I always forget the other guy, Jerry Rice. I always think Dion, Jerry Rice. And just have them draft players.
That's literally the dumbest thing
I'm going to use Dolphins as an example. I mean, these aren't guys who were in the Pro Bowl. Well, one of them was. Okay, say I got Jarvis Landry. He's running a little drag route over the middle. I don't want Jelani Jenkins on the other team there.
To
laying him out and then hurting, A, my fantasy team, which is more important in this situation, and B, the Miami Dolphins.
The Pro Bowl is a joke. And even the players know it. They're Richard Sherman's taking snaps at wide receiver and getting 20-yard losses. Bennett from the Seahawks as a defensive lineman takes a direct snap as quarterback and runs 50 yards.
I didn't see any of this. Oh my gosh.
The players know it's a joke. Everyone knows it's a joke, except people like Roger Goodell and the other idiots.
Doesn't know anything.
The other idiots running the NFL want another weekend of money from fans like us and the people in Hawaii and the players, and it's ridiculous, and it needs to be killed. Give them the title of Pro Bowl player or whatever. Don't make them play in a game that none of them obviously want to play in.
I agree. There's only one All-Star game that means anything in professional sports. It's Major League Baseball,
and that shouldn't be even be decided.
That is advantage either. But you see, the problem is, I know, I agree. I believe if I win 105 games,
then I should decide whether I get home field advantage or not.
If anything, yeah. No.
I shouldn't let all these other people that don't play for my team, and half of them are playing for non-playoff teams, decide whether I get home court.
I mean, we're letting the fans assemble this team kind of at the same
that's true.
Time,
the Royals had, at one point during the fan voting, the Royals had 8 of their guys, like, including Omar Infante, who was hitting like 210.
Yeah, Infante is not.
That's just ridiculous.
Infante's not.
He's not even a starter.
Material. Like, and you know what else upsets me? I feel like there's always this low-key vendetta against the Marlins, where the Marlins can never get get players in the All-Star game. Let me elaborate. Who are 2 All-Stars? It was Stanton, and I don't remember who else we had. Do you remember? Okay. I remember Stanton was one of them. And
Henderson Alvarez.
Okay.
A couple years
Both
ago.
of them got hurt. And then, they're saying, oh, screw it. Nobody. So we had no Marlins in the All-Star game. Granted, that was good because I remember last time Ugla made like 4 errors in New York. Hanley messed up somehow. It was bad. All right. I can't recall Marlin ever doing something good in the All-Star.
I think Josh Johnson threw an inning.
Okay, I take that back. Jose struck out Cabrera.
Jose struck out the side as a rookie.
In New York. He killed it, and everybody was like, what is going on?
Everyone's like, who is this guy?
And then Jose got Tommy John, and I kind of wish we would have traded him. But that's for a different podcast, not today. But point is, yes, I think it's good that you recognize these All-Stars. In a way, it kind of lights a fire. Like, let's look at these guys who got snubbed from the NBA All-Star game this year.
Damian
Willard, Dirk, Powell, Gasol, list, Horford, our boy out of UF, Horford. And for some of those guys, it's kind of good that they get snubbed because it lights even more of a fire and inspires them to play even better. But I agree. There needs to be. I think the NBA All-Star Game. Let me keep it. Why not?
I mean, basketball. You can play basketball as a pickup game because it doesn't involve 10 guys hitting their head against each other for 45 minutes. It's a lot of skill, and football requires offensive and defensive linemen to try to hurt each other almost for 45 minutes a game to protect the offense and let the defense make plays. Basketball is not that way. You can literally play pickup, have a bunch of dunks. Everyone likes to watch dunks, so just let them. The NBA game is fine.
I mean, it's just not something I want to spend my time watching.
Right.
Is all. So that was our little NBA talk right there. Oh, dude, how can we almost forget? We got to close out this podcast. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Sunday.
Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl, man. All right.
This is probably like my lowest caring of the Super Bowl in a long time, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, I'm happy if whoever wins. I mean, we're going right now. Who wins this thing?
The Panthers win 30-7.
Okay, I say Panthers win like 28-10 or something like that.
That's close.
Like,
we're both expecting a big Panther win.
Yeah, I mean, I was telling you earlier, like I might be reading my book with
actually, let me change that. I respect the Broncos defense enough, so I'll say they score 20. I'll say 20-7.
Well, we respected the Cardinals defense enough, and look what happened to them. I mean, granted, Carson Palmer threw 20 interceptions. Yeah. It was really like 5 or 6, but it was still too many.
That was a bad game.
But yeah.
All right, my prediction is 20-7.
All right, 20. I'm sticking by what I said. 28-10. Cam's gonna dab on him. I mean, guys like Ted Ginn.
And then everyone's gonna be mad that he was dancing in the end zone.
They're just gonna be mad because it's a race thing, and he's a black quarterback, and everyone's losing their minds. And guys like Ted Ginn Jr. can't catch a cold. They're gonna win the Super Bowl. And Jonathan Stewart, who's like,
he's a good running back though.
Yeah, you had him in fantasy, so
I like
bias.
He ran for like 1,900 something yards.
All that matters is that Grego out of the U is going to get his Super Bowl title finally, and guys like Josh Norman,
the only of the 7th floor crew.
No, we don't talk about the 7th floor crew. That was such a bad idea. But when you're talking about Miami, there's not too many good ideas. A lot. It'll be a fun Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We're having a party at our fraternity's house. Beta Oops on Kai. Shout out to Brothers on the Christ. Got the president and pledge captain on the mic right here. But, it should be fun. And then, another NFL season will come and go. And then, we get ready for
the draft.
For the draft. For, the Dolphins to go 8-8 again.
Yep.
Jags to go
5-11.
5-11. We can't never have a podcast now taking our shots at the Jags, can we, man?
You can't.
Right? We can't.
It's a requirement.
It is a requirement. Even though Allen Robinson is awesome.
Yeah, I like him.
So, that's all we got for you today. So, for Zack Gonzalez,
RJ Walsh,
we're wishing you a great day. Thank you, everybody, and God bless.